Welcome to Foundations TV, everybody. We are here on site at the Clark University campus today, and we have Professor Parminder Bhachu here with us. And we also have the filmmaker, very successful, known for Bend It Like Beckham. We have Gurinder Chadha, who is traveling all the way from London. And both of you, welcome to Foundations TV. Thank you so much for being with us today. And why don't we start with Professor Parminder Bhachu? What is your association with Gurinder?
My association with Gurinder goes back now probably 30 years. I used to watch her anchoring a program on the BBC, and that's when I first saw her. But you know, we come from Kenya, and there is an older connection of being multiple migrants from India to East Africa and then Britain. And then when she made her first film, for which she won the New Directors Award, I'm British, but which was the first film about second generation British Asians, set to a new music movement, Bhangra, which was becoming preeminent in Britain. I actually wrote about her. I mean, I was writing about second generation and the ways in which they were located in different parts of Britain, and they had those identities, you know, whether you were a Londoner living in West London or Camden, or whether you were from Birmingham or Wales or Scotland. And she captured that in film in the way in which I was writing about this. And so that was our first connection, as not our first connection, but where there was an intellectual and an academic connection which captured what was going on at the time in that particular period. So that was my connection. That was 27 years ago.
Wow, wow. And what brings you to Boston this time around, Gurinder?
Well, I've been invited by Parminder. A lot of the work that she's doing here, as she just said, really reflects a lot of my own work. And being an East African Indian, as I call myself, East African Punjabi, growing up in Britain, I'm very much part of a diaspora. And Parminder's work focuses on that. And so I came here in '95 and did some lectures for her and tutorials, and so I've come back to do the same again.
Wonderful. Now, you are, of course, very well known as a filmmaker, so we definitely want to hear a little bit about that. What got you into filmmaking?
Well, I've made 7 feature films now. I have a new film coming out next year on partition, and on it's a very British Punjabi film on partition, and it'll be out next year for the 70th anniversary of independence. So I'm getting ready to launch that.
And what about Bend It Like Beckham? Had you ever imagined it's going to go that far and it's going to influence so many lives like it did?
Well, it was made 15 years ago now, and of course it lives on very much in people's hearts. It's a very popular film for a lot of people. Last year in England we did the West End musical version, which went down very well. We got lots of great reviews, 5-star reviews, and we are now looking to tour with the musical version and hopefully start the show off in India next year.
So, do you consider yourself successful as a director or as a writer, or what do you associate yourself as more, as a writer or a director?
Everything. Writer, director, producer of theatre, film, television. Because that's what I do.
Do you have a dream that that you want to fulfill beyond the movie that you're making for next year? Do you have like a long-term dream?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to give back, and I feel that at some point I will channel my energies into some more. I mean, I do a lot of charity work, but I feel like I'm getting more and more pulled towards doing something with young girls in India. So at some point I will do something with young women, yeah.
Wonderful. We welcome you to Boston, and we look forward to your event tonight. Thank you so much.
I think that the thing that I would say is that it's such a delight to have Gurinder, because she's so good at capturing both the cultural dynamics of the time and then rendering it creatively, and in a way that doesn't accept status quo or conventional ways of rendering the world, of observing it and visualizing it. So it's a wonderful treat for us, and she's not doing only the public conversation. There was an event yesterday, which was after the showing of Bend It Like Beckham, Q&A with the director, and today she did a seminar with the visual and performing arts and film and screen students, and it's always fascinating and revealing about the 21st century dynamics of a diverse world in which voices that are not mainstream are rendered in powerful ways that travel beyond a particular audience. Her ability to navigate very complex cultural and political terrains. And of course, that's some of the work that I do in my academic writing as well. There's a sort of, we share worlds because we've moved multiply from, we're not directly from India, we're truly diasporic in the sense that we are products of the places which produced us, which is East Africa, India, Britain, the US, and much more. And it's a pleasure to have that kind of discussion in a complex, nuanced way rather than in stereotypical and not in a monodirectional way.
Thank you so much, both of you.